This is Family Time 141. We're talking about safety. This is part of our look at responsible decision making. And this is always something that's at the forefront of my mind. As a parent, as a teacher and a coach, that's kind of the first thing I want to provide to my kids, students, and athletes. I want you to all feel safe. When we've looked at like Maslow's hierarchy of human needs, you have those physiological needs. Those are the base needs. That's the bottom of the pyramid. Those are the things you need to stay alive: food, water, shelter. And then right after that are safety needs, where you need to be safe from physical harm and danger, but you also need to feel emotionally safe. If you don't have those things, you can't climb up the pyramid. You can't work towards self-actualization. So we need to address safety. And someday, when you're the head of your own family or you're in charge of other people, and you may have this now, you may be in charge of other people in your life now, I think that's always something that is in our mind, is what can we do to keep the people we care about safe. The challenging thing is we can't always keep everyone safe from everything. We can't keep all the people we care about safe from all the challenges of life. It's impossible. It's one of the reasons that I'm such a big proponent of strength, I guess, and I mean that one in physical strength. I think it's important to train our bodies and our minds. I believe in practicing martial arts and being physically strong and all those things, hoping that there's never a physical situation where we're in danger. But I think it's good to have that training to also help us avoid unsafe or unhealthy situations. And I just believe in strength in general. One of the reasons I love teaching and coaching is I think anytime you can get skills, I've mentioned this before, but a quote that I like is, all knowledge can be weaponized. Meaning the more you know, the more you learn, the more you grow in any area of life, the stronger you become, the more skills you have, the more resources you have available to you. So I just am a big proponent of that's something that can help keep us safe. That's something I had to realize as a dad and as an educator, that like, this is the hardest thing. It really is the hardest thing, that I can't keep all of you safe from everything. So the best way to try to keep people safe, I think, is to prepare them, is to help them be strong enough to handle and manage difficult situations. And part of that is having conversations and understanding what are safe situations, what are unsafe or unhealthy situations, how to avoid, minimize those unsafe situations, and then how to be prepared to deal with challenges. That's what I want you thinking about this week, is for you specifically, what constitutes a dangerous or an unhealthy situation. And unfortunately, I know many of you have had situations where you maybe don't feel safe. And it's a terrible thing when that is maybe at home if you don't always feel safe, or in your social group if you don't always feel safe. It's terrible if at school you don't always feel safe. And again, I don't mean that just physically, but emotionally, and just even with support, if you don't feel like you're supported. So I want you to give examples of potentially dangerous or unhealthy situations, maybe some that you've experienced, or if you do feel very safe and secure, what are some situations that you know might not be in your best interest? And I want you to think in the physical world, but also in the digital world. So much of our existence now does take place, for many of us, in a digital world, an online world, with social media and even how we interact with each other sometimes using contemporary technology. I want you to think of some of the situations that may arise that may not be safe. I want you to think about how to avoid those situations. And I want you to think about how we can deal with those situations when we find ourselves in a place that isn't safe. And when I say isn't safe, I also mean just situations that may not be in our best interest. And then I want you to identify some place that is a safe space for you. And when I say place, it doesn't need to be a physical space, but it could be with this group of friends, with this family. Describe a setting where you feel like this is safe. This is the place for me. For me, I think it's with my family, with my close friends. Like, I know I'm safe in that environment, not only with people who would have my back if something physical happened, but also are there for me emotionally, that I know will support me, that I know I can be open with, that I know I can be myself with. That's a safe situation for me. So think about those things. Situations that are potentially dangerous or just potentially not helpful to us. How we can avoid those, how we can manage those situations, and then what are some safe spaces you have. That's an important thing to have all through life. Till next time, much love.